Hello student, the next topic which we will try to understand is AC fundamentals. Of course, we will try as I've said earlier that AC signals, in AC signals we will try to understand how to generate, how AC signals are generated, different terminologies used in AC signals, and when this resistance, capacitor and inductors are connected to the AC circuit, how the circuit behaves. So this is what will be the second part of your unit number 3. So the first topic which we will focus it on is generation of alternating voltage. This we have already done in unit number 2 under the topic sources of electrical power. I have explained you two types of source, AC source and DC source. Of course, we will try to understand how AC source will be produced. If you remember, when I said AC source, what does that mean is it produces an alternating cycle, right? And what about DC source? It will be a straight line. So if you calculate time period, if you draw a graph between time period on x-axis and voltage on y-axis, in case of AC, what you can see is the amplitude and the polarity keeps on changing with respect to time, whereas for DC signal the amplitude as well as the polarity remains constant. So this is what is the basic of AC and DC. Now we will try to understand how AC will be generated. This example I have took earlier, I will take one more time that example. If you take an inductor, a length of a wire which has been coiled, and if current is flowing through it, magnetic field is produced across it. And the same mechanism, if you reverse it, that means there is a magnetic field and in that you keep a coil, right? And you rotate the coil in the magnetic field. So when the coil is rotated in the magnetic field, it experiences change in the magnetic field, and change in the magnetic field induces current into the coil, so that phenomena is used. Okay, so this is called as a rotatory mechanism, or the very good example of such a mechanism is windmill. In Hindi it is called as pavan chakka. Okay, so let us try to understand through graphical representation. Okay, so this is set 0 degree, this is 45, this is 90 degree, this is 135, this is 180, this is 225 degree, this is 270 degree, this is 315 degree, and of course when it will come back to its initial position, that is 360 degree or 0 degree. Okay, so now let us draw an waveform. Okay, so this is the waveform. This is 0 degree, this point is 90 degree, this point is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and this is 360 degree, or you can say 0 degree. Okay, so this point, this entire value is called as amplitude. The strength of the signal denoted by A, and one complete cycle that will be called as time period denoted by T for one complete cycle. What you can see is you can reach the maximum value of current or voltage at 90 degree and 270 degree. Okay, and this is the point where you have this point, this point, this point, this point, these are the points on positive and negative half cycle where the value, the instantaneous value is 70.7% of the peak value, which is also called as RMS value. Of course, when we will try to understand the different terminologies, we will go through that topic, terminology also. So this is how AC waveform will be generated. See, what happens is, when, as I said, this is a magnetic field, so there will be magnetic line of forces. The magnetic line of forces lies at 290 degree and 270 degree. So when you are moving the electrode or the coil or the armature winding, this is called as armature winding. So when you are moving that armature winding in the magnetic field from 0 degree to 90 degree, what happens is it cuts the magnetic field in positive direction and it is moving towards the magnetic line of forces. So the current which will be induced in the armature winding will keep on increasing. So that is the point, 0 degree to 90 degree. Okay, from 90 degree, when it goes to 180, it is moving away from the magnetic line of forces. That means the current induced in the armature winding will keep on decreasing, but still it is cutting the magnetic field in the positive direction. So this is the point, 90 to 180, and from 180 when it moves to 270, now it is cutting the magnetic field in negative direction, and it is moving towards the magnetic line of forces. So current will increase, but increase in negative direction. Current will increase in negative direction. This point is 270, and from 270 it come back to its initial position, that is 360 degree. As it is moving away from the magnetic line of forces, current will decrease in negative direction and will come back to its initial position. So this is how basically an alternating voltage is generated. Okay, example of alternating cycle, which the circuit which produce alternating cycle is an alternator or windmill, that a circuit which has armature winding placed in an magnetic field. So this is what is the condition. Now, as I said, it is an AC signal, so the amplitude is continuously changing with respect to time. Amplitude is changing with respect to time. So if you want to calculate instantaneous value, that means the value at a particular time period, it will be given by VEV is equal to Vm sine theta. Okay, where Vm is the maximum potential, that is a peak value of your AC signal. It is a maximum value, peak value, Vm. So Vm is the maximum peak value, and of course theta is the angle. So instantaneous value of an AC signal is given by V is equal to Vm sine theta. Okay, so of course we represent, when you represent an AC signal, we define it in different terminologies. Okay, so in degree, so we have one half cycle, then you have one half cycle, then you have quarter cycle, quarter cycle 1/4, and then you have 3/4 of cycle. So this is one half cycle, we consider it to be 180 degree, quarter cycle will be 90 degree, and 3/4 of the cycle is 270 degree, and one complete cycle will of course constitute one complete cycle. One cycle is equal to 360 degree, the complete cycle. Okay, now the same thing can be represented in radian also. One radian is equal to 57.3 degree, that is the angle. Okay, so it will be one cycle is 2 pi radian, half cycle is pi by 2, half cycle is pi radian, 1/4 of cycle is pi by 2 radian, and 3/4 of cycle is 3 pi by 2 radian. So an AC signal when it is referred can be referred by using these different terminologies. I hope you have understood. Now let us try to understand characteristics of the AC waveform, which we also called as sinusoidal waveform. On the basis of what we have understood in the first section, that means generation of alternating voltage, try to identify the characteristics of your AC waveform. Okay, so the first point which I can write is the cycle includes 360 degree or 2 pi radian. This is the first characteristics. Okay, then second maximum value we get at 90 degree and 270 degree. Third, at 0 degree and 180 degree the value is 0, right? If you draw that waveform, you can see. So at 0 degree and 180 degree the value is 0. 90 degree and 270 degree you get the maximum value either in positive or in negative peak. Okay, so this is the third point. At 0 degree and 180 degree the value is 0. Fourth point, polarity reverses every half cycle. Okay, so this is 0 degree, this is positive, this is negative. So every half cycle the polarity will change for the AC signal. And fifth point, very important point, that the signal when it increases, when it crosses 0 marks, it increases the most fastest, and when it reaches, because at 45 degree angle it already reaches 70.7% of the peak value. So when it crosses 0 mark, it increases the fastest and it becomes slowest. That means the change in the AC signal or the instantaneous value will be smallest as it reaches its maximum value. Okay, so we will write that the value changes. When I say the value, it can be voltage or current. The value changes the fastest when it crosses 0 degree, and the value changes the slowest when it reaches its peak value. Okay, so this question can be asked for 3 marks. You have to specify these 5 points. These are the characteristics of the AC waveform. Okay, then voltage. Next is voltage and current value of your sine wave. Sinusoidal wave will be always specified as sine wave. Okay, so the first terminologies which we will try to understand for sine wave is instantaneous value. Okay, as I said, it is the value of the voltage or current at a given instant of time. Okay, so for suppose if you are calculating the value at t1, t2, t3, t4, t5, what happens to the amplitude? The value will be continuously changing. So the value of voltage or current at any given instant of time is called as instantaneous value. But what you can see is there are infinite instantaneous value over a half cycle. So mostly we don't specify it as instantaneous value. So the next terminology is the peak value. So what is peak value? Peak value is the maximum value of voltage and current either taken at positive peak or negative peak. So this is the peak value. Okay, this is the peak value. And so what I said, peak value is the maximum value of voltage or current, but it will be either taken on the positive peak or it will be negative peak. That means from zero reference to positive peak or zero reference to negative peak. That will be called as peak value. And the next terminology is called as peak to peak value. Okay, peak to peak value. Peak to peak value means maximum positive point to maximum negative point. Of course, peak to peak value we write 2 into peak value. Okay, next is the next terminology is called as average value. So average value is the total average value over a half cycle. Total average value over a half cycle. Because if you take for complete cycle, what happens is the total average becomes 0. So average value is always taken only for one half cycle, and it is given by 0.637 multiplied by the peak value. And last is RMS value. As I said, RMS value is root mean square value. This is the value of the voltage or current at an angle of 45 degree when the value almost reaches to 70.7% of the peak value. Okay, so RMS value is 70.7% of your peak value. Next, the other important terms are other important terms includes, first is frequency. Of course, all these terms you must have gone through in 12th standard also, and you know the definition also, but I'll just repeat it for you. Frequency is number of cycle per unit time. Number of cycle per unit time. Unit of frequency is hertz, denoted by Hz. Okay, so 1 hertz. Okay, then we have 1 into 10 to the power 3 hertz. So we say that the denotation will be 1 kilohertz. Okay, next is 1 into 10 to the power 6 hertz. 1 into 10 to the power 6 is 1. 10 to the power 6 is denoted as megahertz. Okay, so this is 1 hertz, 1 kilohertz and 1 megahertz. These are the different denotions we will use for frequency. Okay, similarly you have the second important term which we will try to understand is period, or in sometimes we specify it as time period. So it is time taken for one complete one complete cycle, and unit of time period is seconds. Okay, so this can be represented as 1 second time period, or 1 into 10 to the power minus 3, 1 into 10 to the power 1 into 10 to the power minus 6, 1 into 10 to the power minus 9. So 1 second, 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 is written as 1 millisecond. 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 is 1 माइक्रोसेकेंड, म्यू से डिनोट करेंगे, एंड 1 into 10 to the power 9 second will be 1 nanosecond. So these are the terminologies and the various ways of representing frequency and time period. The last one in this is the wavelength. Wavelength denoted by lambda, that is it is the distance traveled by the waveform in one complete cycle. Okay, one complete cycle, and the unit is meters. It is denoted by meters. So these are characteristics of AC waveform and some important terminologies which we will always specify for AC signals. Next, we will try to understand phase angle. Phase angle is an idea of phase relationship between two alternating sine wave. Okay, two alternating, I will let you know what exactly we mean by phase. So in an idea, it is an idea of phase relationship between two alternating sine wave. Now in sine wave, the instantaneous value of voltage and current depends upon angle of rotation. This angle is called phase. This angle is called as phase angle. So we compare, basically what we do is by identifying the phase angle, we compare the two AC waveform to identify the phase difference between the two. I will explain you that. To find out the phase difference, the important point is the two waveforms should have same frequency. This is very important, this point. The two waveform should have sine wave variation, and third is amplitude of the two sine wave can be different. Okay, so these 3 points has to be taken care of. Of course, the last point is it's an option, of course, either if it is of same amplitude or different amplitude, you will consider it, but the first two options are very, very important. Now to understand phase angle, let us try to understand phasor diagram. It is a graphical representation to compare phase of two alternating sine waves. Okay, what I said, what is phasor diagram? It is a graphical representation to compare phase of two alternating waveforms. Okay, so in the first case, see, say this is your wave VA and this is your wave VB. Okay, this is VA and this is VB. What you can see is the frequency is same, both are sine wave, the amplitude is different, right? And the phase which we will try to measure, or the phase difference will be the difference in the time period of two varying alternating voltage or current, okay, from point 0. That means they should have the same amplitude at that particular point and varying in same direction. For example, say this is the point, okay, say 0 point we consider. In both these signals are increasing in positive direction, right? Increasing in positive direction from the same point. So what you can see is, even though the amplitude is different, the phase difference is 0. In this case, in the first case, phase difference is 0. So if you consider on any one point on the on your phasor diagram, you have to see the difference between the two waveforms. Both are initiating from the same point, both are moving towards the same direction. So this in this first figure, the phase difference is 0. Say second example we will take. So this is VA and this is VB. Okay, so at 0 point, if you consider this as 0 point, and if you compare these two waveforms, what you can see is this first waveform is at 0 point, okay, and at this same point, what you can see is, if you consider this as the waveform, right, I will consider this as the signal, right. So what you can see is, at same point, this is at 0 degree VA, and VB, it is increasing in negative direction. And what is the point in increasing in negative direction? See, this is the point, 0, this is 90, this is 180, this is 270, and this is 360. Increasing in negative direction is the point, that is 270. Or we can say, when we consider it as a sine wave, we say lead by 90 degree or lag by 90 degree. So we say, if you draw this waveform, this is VA and this is VB. We say VA leads VB by 90 degree. Okay, and the third waveform which we will draw is like this. Right, this is 0 degree, this is say VA, this is VB. Okay, this is phase difference of 90 degree. Here what you can see is, see this waveform at this point, this VA is increasing in positive direction, whereas VB is increasing in negative direction. Increasing in negative direction point is 180 degrees. So phase difference between these two is 180 degree, and if you graphically represent it, it will be like this, exactly opposite phase. This is VA, so this is VB. Okay, and here it will be like this, VA, as amplitude is less, here it will be VB. Both are in same phase. So this is the idea of phase angle, phasor diagram, and understanding of phase difference between the two signals. I hope you have understood. Next, we will try to understand non-sinusoidal waveform. Of course, the waveform which does not depends upon sine angle are called non-sinusoidal waveforms. Okay, so the waveforms which does not depend upon sine angle is called as non-sinusoidal waveform. So example can be like this: a triangular waveform, second one, sorry, this is rectangular, this is triangular, and the third one can be sawtooth waveform. Sawtooth waveform. Okay, so there are number of applications where you have to use these signals also. Both are AC signals, but it does not depends upon the sine angle. Therefore these are called as, or these are termed as non-sinusoidal waveform. Okay, so let us try to understand the similarities between sinusoidal and non-sinusoidal waveform. Okay, similarities between sinusoidal waveform and non-sinusoidal waveform. The first one is a cycle is considered to be a point where cycle is considered to be between points where waveform is starting from 0 and varying in same direction. Okay, so what will be one cycle? If you consider this to be one cycle, it will start from one point and is going back to the same point, and if it is varying in the same direction, so this will be considered as one cycle. Okay, second is time period is the time for one complete cycle. Third point is similarities. As we can say, both are AC waveforms. Fourth point is peak value is measured from 0 axis to either positive peak or negative peak. Okay, so these are the similarities, and now let us try to understand the difference between sinusoidal and non-sinusoidal waveforms. First value, when you measure a non-sinusoidal waveform, it has to be measured always as peak to peak value, not peak value, because see in this example I have shown, you can positive peak is bigger as compared to negative peak. That means signals can be asymmetrical. Therefore, for non-sinusoidal waveform, it has to be measured always as peak to peak value. Second, phase angle does not support non-sinusoidal waveforms, and angular measure, like as I said, angular measure degree or radian, half cycle, 1/2 cycle, 180 degree, 90 degree, 270, pi radian, 2 pi radian, pi by 2 radian, 3 pi by 2 radian. This angle measurement is not possible for non-sinusoidal waveforms. So these are the similarities and differences between sinusoidal waveform and non-sinusoidal waveform. So this is all about AC signals, its terminologies, its types, its similarities and differences. I hope you have understood.